Bruno here just gets the ball, he holds it, and he just gives a simple pass to Šeško where he does a good finish. Just a whole nother level. That's some really top quality hold of play. That was a very good assist from Bruno Fernandes. Now he has 19 assists in the Premier League, and he's on track to reaching 20 assists in the Premier League, which is the all-time record which only Thierry and Kevin De Bruyne have reached. I think that he only has 4 matches. I think it's possible that he surpasses that record. But with all of this happening, I think this makes people wonder, is Bruno Fernandes a Premier League legend? I think Bruno Fernandes is a very disrespected player. I think he has too much quality and has done too much stuff for too much seasons to be considered at least not a world-class player. Which I think most people agree that he's a world-class player, but I think he's more than that. I think he's a Premier League legend. And if he breaks this record, I think that will cement that. Ever since Michael Carrick took over Manchester United in January, Bruno has 14 goal contributions in 13 matches. That's a rate of more than 1 goal contribution per game, and he's a midfielder. Since his debut in 2020, Bruno has 639 chances created. Bruno is second with 432. Bruno has been the top chance creator for the past 5 or 6 years, and I think he needs to get more praise for that. This is an incredible stat, and it's the stat that only the top players have. And he's been performing every season in one of the clubs that has the most pressure in the Premier League. If not the club with the most pressure in the Premier League, Manchester United. To be honest, the past season Manchester United hasn't been in that good of a form, but recently they've been picking up form, and I think the biggest credit of that goes to Bruno. He has already hit 133 chances created this season. That's a crazy amount. And in the 6 years Bruno has been in the Premier League, he's only missed 9 Premier League games, and most of them were for rest or suspension, almost none for injury. This is like a wild stat. Not even I knew this when I was researching about him. I was like, what the heck? This guy barely gets injured. This guy is just straight up built different. I think one milestone that he has that makes him a legend is that he has hit 200 goal contributions for United in just 312 games. Only De Bruyne has reached 200 goal contributions faster as a midfielder. But Bruno did it faster than legends like Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. And it's impressive to think the consistency he has had over the years. He has had a ton of manager changes, the ones I can remember like Carrick, Emery, Ten Hag, and more. And the team changes, the tactics change, but Bruno is always delivering. I'm not saying football apps are the most credible, but I think they're pretty credible. I think Football is pretty credible, and using their app, his worst season at Manchester United in the Premier League is with an average rating of 7.5. That's still a world-class season in his worst season. I think this goes to show that I don't think a lot of people understand how crazy this is. No disrespect to De Bruyne, he's the main guy I have to compare to Bruno, but his worst season is with a 7.2 rating. And most people say that he doesn't really have that bad of a season with Manchester United. And for Bruno's worst to only be a 7.5, and this season he has an average rating of 8, I think is wild. But now that we know that Bruno has been having world-class numbers, has been consistent over the years, been world-class, I think every single season in Manchester United, there's one thing that people think that he hasn't done yet that would consider him being a legend, and that is winning the Premier League. And honestly, I get that argument. Winning big trophies for your club is probably one of the biggest things that cements you as a legend. But there are big examples of players that are legends for the club that haven't won anything. One of the biggest ones, obviously, is Harry for Spurs. He never won the Premier League, nor a Champions League, yet he's still considered a legend in their club. He is the second highest Premier League top goal scorer of all time, and I think everyone pretty much agrees that he's a Premier League legend. Also like Heung-min-son for Spurs, and I think the biggest example to compare to Bruno is Steven Gerrard. For all the time that he's been at Liverpool, he never won the Premier League either, yet he's always considered the top 3 midfielders of all time in the Premier League. Now this is not to discredit Gerrard, he's known as a legend because he's been carrying Liverpool in the midfield for more than a decade and is the known legend for their club and the Premier League. And if he's a legend without winning a Premier League ever for his club, then I think Bruno could be considered a legend too. He has way too much level and has been delivering for too long to not be considered anymore. And to be honest, if Bruno Fernandes isn't a legend, if Bruno Fernandes isn't a Premier League legend, I don't think Gerrard is a Premier League legend either. And by the way, we're talking about Premier League, not world football, just in case, because I know Gerrard has won a Champions League. We're talking specifically about Premier League. Also recording right now, I just discovered an absolutely crazy stat that Bruno Fernandes has. For Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes has 226 games and has 140 goal contributions. Meanwhile, in 10 more games, Cristiano Ronaldo has also 140 goal contributions in 10 more games. This isn't to discredit Ronaldo. I know he also played some games as a midfielder, but this is just to give credit to Bruno to show how insane he's been for Manchester United. So to end it off, yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I don't think there's a debate that Bruno Fernandes is a Premier League legend, because trophies are for the teams, but having the legend status belongs to the person who has been one of the best in his position for many years. If he hits 21 assists, I think the debate is officially dead. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me, is he the greatest United midfielder for the last 20 years? I'll see you next video.